What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Hump Day. We unfortunately get some bad news about Terry McLaurin. So Adam Schefter tweeted out yesterday that Terry McLaurin is uncertain to play Sunday versus Atlanta due to his quad injury per source. He still is seeking more information about the injury. So once again on a Monday, Dan Quinn did not mention anything about Terry McLaurin. I don't think any beat reporter or reporter that was there asked him any questions about Terry McLaurin either. And that was kind of weird to me. I was like, okay, since he didn't mention Terry, I'm like, okay, I guess Terry's fine. Because of course they asked about Jaden. They asked about, I think it's Jaden for them. Oh, he unprompted brought up Marshawn Lattimore clearing concussion protocol. I don't think he talked about Trey Amos either. Will Harris, of course, he had to say he had the fracture fibula. There's just no way, because Dan Quinn, he does not disclose any injury. We think about the rib injury where Jaden literally broke his ribs or had his ribs broken, and they did not disclose that information. So we know today, Dan Quinn's not going to say anything. He's not going to say anything at all. He's just going to say day-to-day with Terry. He's not going to reveal any information. We'll see who talks, whether it's Marcus Mariota or Jaden Daniels, who does the quarterback presser. I think that's supposed to be today. Every Wednesday, the starting quarterback talks for either team. And I think we may even find out if Michael Penix is going to start, because I think he's going to start. You don't pull the plug on a rookie like that after 3 starts this year and 2 or 3 starts last year. And even though he lost to the Panthers last year too, I remember. I think he did. And it was a way closer game than 30-0. But we'll see that today. I'm trying to think who else. Percy Butler. I don't think they talked about him when he left, but maybe he'll go more into depth about Trey Amos. I think Trey Amos is fine. But Terry McLaurin, man, he's getting a second opinion. So that does raise cause for concern, because if it wasn't that bad, he would just stick with the team doctors and just keep it moving. But the fact that he's seeking a second opinion from more doctors is definitely concerning. And I get a lot of people on social media are frustrated because, he held out, he sat out. And this happens, like CeeDee Lamb. I think when he held out, he had a soft tissue injury. Same thing with Jamar Chase. Typically when players hold out and they miss training camp, then I get it. He was working out with Jaden in the bubble, but that's still just not enough. It's not enough to really ramp up and get in game shape and get your body right for the season. Look, I get it. Brandon Ayuk last year torn ACL. So maybe it doesn't correlate, but just for whatever reason, when guys hold out and they sit out for the majority of training camp and they come back 1 week before the season starts or 2 weeks before the season starts, they typically get injuries within the first 3 or 4 weeks. So, and he's already a slow starter anyway. So this was really bad for Terry. For him to be already a slow starter, historically his career, other than the Case Keenum game where Case Keenum was throwing bombs to him against the Eagles his rookie year. Other than that, I think he's had pretty slow starts. His start last year was so slow that through the first 2 games, and this start has been slow as well. The first 2 games this year, he's had more yards than what he did last year. That's how bad the first 2 games last year were. But he had the magical game. Jaden had the magical game. Not magical, but Jaden just had the awesome game. The MVP candidate or coming out party game against the Bengals. And Terry kind of had his bounce back game here with 74 yards. But the point is that, the holdout just didn't help, in my opinion. Other guys who didn't participate in training camp much, they're hurt too. Like Brandon Coleman's hurt, even though he got benched. It's not looking good. I would be prepared to play without him. I would just in practice. Same thing with Noah Brown. You can't rely on him. We'll get an update on him too. We'll get an update on John Bates. Probably not much from Dan Quinn, like I said, but because the thing with Noah Brown too is he's been DNP and then play. He DNP'd one. I think Wednesday he DNP'd against the Giants, and then he played. Same thing with the Packers, and then he was limited, and then he was limited again. They just play him. That's the process with them. With Noah Brown and a lot of their veterans too. So you're going to see a rest day for Zach. Today you're going to see a rest day for King Vaughn. You're going to see a rest day for Laramie Tunzel too, even though he needs to work on the penalties. I would not give him a rest day in my opinion. But that's probably what you're going to see today. And make sure you guys vote for Jalen Lane as well. He's nominated for Rookie of the Week against Cam Scatabo, Mario Hampton, and Carl Schwarzenegger. I think he can beat those guys out. Torrey Horton, who's really good too. I like him a lot coming out of Colorado State. And Luther Burden, who was cooking Trayvon Diggs. He is the other candidate. So that's about it. But as far as free agent wide receivers, let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper, and let's get back to the video.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code Oliver. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper, once again. I know you guys were joking to me about having my older picks in there, like Joe Burrow over a half passing yards. So I updated the video, guys, so you guys can stop commenting that. But like I said, I will be making picks. I'm taking a look at Zach Ertz for more receptions. That's something that I do like off the rip. So I do like that, and that's what I really like for the most part. I think you might want to take a look at Debo too, because he most likely will be wide receiver number 1. Oh, note. So this is from Jesse Moore. He's a doctor, and he's heavily known on YouTube and on social media as well. So he says, if it's a quad bruise or a strain, it could be a quad bruise or a strain. If it is moderate, then it could be a 3 to 4 weeks out for Terry McLaurin. He said a quad bruise bleeds a lot and blood fills into the cavity, and it could hold him out a couple of weeks. So like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm just paraphrasing what Jesse Moore said on social media. He said a bruise he would be okay, but a quad strain could have issues running aggressive if he runs aggressively, and would probably miss a week or 2. So like I said, there's some free agent options out there. I probably like the free agent options are so bad to the point where it's like, hey, Chris Moore is playing better, so you maybe just want to trust him. And then Jalen Lane, he's got to catch the football. I get it. He's an all-world punt returner at this point. But you just got to catch the football, man. Like, you're getting opportunities. You know, Jaden gave him a nice pass. He dropped it against the Giants. And then Marcus Mariota gave him a catchable ball against the Raiders, and he dropped it. So the options are really awful. Like I said, Deontay Johnson is a head case. Like, him and CJ Gardner-Johnson, those guys, man, they're gonna be out of the league soon. Like, if you can't stay on the team and not get along with your teammates and coaches, then you're just gonna you're gonna keep getting cut. You're gonna keep getting released, and the same thing happened to DJ Swearinger. Unfortunately, I like DJ Swearinger. I think he's a good guy. But if you can't get along with coaches and teammates, then you're just not gonna be on any team. Antonio Brown too. He can get along with coaches and teammates, and he's out of the league. So it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you can't get along with people, you're gonna be out of the league basically. Robert Woods, he was on the Lions, I think. He was on the Texans too. Robert Woods is not that bad, but as of recent, let me look at his stats real quick, actually, because Robert Woods actually is not that bad. He was on Twitter, too. He was on social media going off saying that he should be in the league and whatnot. He had 203 yards last year, 426. Was it Robert Woods or was it Allen Robinson? I think it's Allen Robinson who was all mouthing off on Twitter talking about he should be in the league and he's not on a team and stuff like that. Is he on the Lions right now? He might be the guy that I'm thinking about. 2024, obviously. Yeah, Allen Robinson's not on a team right now. And he's actually not that bad. He's actually pretty decent. And he's somebody that I would kind of take a look at if you want to sign to the practice squad. He had 14 touchdowns in 2015, which is pretty crazy. I know this eons ago. But he didn't do anything last year. 3 catches for 30 yards, which is nothing. But Odell Beckham is a free agent. I mean, he did pretty good with the Ravens a couple years ago. But these are the guys that are available. Nelson Aguilar. His hands aren't great, but he did a pretty good job with the Ravens. He does drop a lot of passes. Michael Gallup is a free agent. That's really awful. DJ Chark is a free agent. Donovan Peoples-Jones, not very good. He's a free agent. KJ Osborne, awful. Kadarius Toney, awful. Kadarius Toney wants to be a rapper. So there's just not. Raheem Jarrett went to Maryland. He's a free agent. So the options are so bad. Oh, my goodness. They're so darn bad. Zach Pascal, awful at this point. Marquez Callaway, bad. So there's just really nobody out there at the receiver spot. I mean, Braylon Edwards, the DC defender, I mean, you could put him on a practice squad. But Cordarrelle Patterson is a free agent. I'll be kind of intrigued in him a little bit. But you're just not going to sign anybody through free agency. You're just not. That's not going to happen. That they're going to come in and help. Odell is not terrible, but yeah, the pickings are very slim at this point. So, all right. In other news, CJ Gardner-Johnson, like I just talked about, he was released. So this is the statement from Aaron Wilson. So he was released from the Texans yesterday. So this is a quote from Aaron Wilson. He says, after friction behind the scenes with him complaining about his role, wanting to blitz more per league sources, and even communicating that he wanted to be traded, it didn't work out for him here in the Texans, with the Texans. So basically, CJ requested a trade, and he wanted to blitz more, and he did not get along with his teammates as well, complaining about his role. I heard he was critiquing his teammates, or talking bad about his teammates as well, and calling people out in the locker room and whatnot. So that's what I heard and saw on social media as well. So, there was rumors that he didn't get along with Darius Slay in Philly, and that's why he got traded. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on with him recently. There was a rumor that he put out a hit on Malik Neighbors from his ex-girlfriend or baby mama, whoever. So there's just a lot with Gardner-Johnson. I mean, he's a darn good player. He was the heart and soul of the Eagles defense, or one of the main people in their defense who forced turnovers. I think he had 6 picks last year too. He had a pick 6 against the Cowboys on Cooper Rush. So I mean, he's a good player, man. Like he's a good player. That's all I'm gonna say. He had 6 picks. Now, I said on social media, I said I'm intrigued a little bit because we just have the injury bug right now. Will Harris is out for 4 weeks. Darnell Savage is okay, but CJ Gardner-Johnson is better than Darnell Savage at this point, or really throughout his career for the most part. And yeah, we just need depth, man. Jeremy Reeves plays with his hair on fire. He plays like a heat-seeking missile. So, I knock on wood for him, but the way he just plays with reckless abandon. So you got to have a guy ready to go after Jeremy Reeves. Percy Butler got hurt. So it's just the injury bug has really hurt us, guys. So that's the only reason why I'm even entertaining CJ Gardner-Johnson, but he doesn't fit the culture. He doesn't fit the Commander culture. He called Jaden McDaniels on Instagram, which was pretty disrespectful. He was joking around. He was like, heck of a season for the rookie, but Jaden McDaniels, you're going to Cancun. He did say that. And then he said something very vile to De'Ami Brown when he got kicked out of the game against us. Like, the crazy thing is that De'Ami Brown slapped CJ Gardner-Johnson, but CJ Gardner-Johnson is the one who got kicked out of the game. CJ Gardner-Johnson didn't even put hands on anybody, but he got kicked out. So that he must have said something very disrespectful or very bad for him to get a flag and get kicked out. He had to say something very, very disrespectful for him to get kicked out for saying something and not even hitting somebody. So that's just the character on him. Do you want him in the locker room? Is it really worth it? I think we can get the job done with Jeremy Reeves or Darnell Savage and Darnell Savage. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, I would love to add the talent to the room, but I think Dan Quinn and our culture would definitely, calm a guy down or, be able to handle guys like that. Of course, with previous regimes, we were not able to handle anybody who had a history or a past, but I think we would be able to handle some guys like that. I think with this culture that we have at right now. But I personally, at the end of the day, yes, I would stay away from CJ Gardner-Johnson, but I love adding talent to the team. And Deontay Johnson, he's a free agent too. That's another guy you do not want to bring in your locker room. You do not want to bring him. He quit on the Ravens. He quit on the Ravens. He quit on the Panthers. He's quit on multiple teams where he was asked to come into the game. He didn't even go into the game. That's how much of a quitter Deontay Johnson is or has been. So, but all right, you guys let me know what you guys think about the situation. Are you worried about Terry? And would you bring in another free agent wide receiver? We'll see what Dan Quinn has to say today. I know he's not going to say much, if anything, at all. So, all right, guys. As always, Hail to Commanders. Peace.